Now, my golly, it does. So that's one issue where guys want to trim trees close to power lines, or else if trees grow up into power lines, there's issues because trees can't conduct electricity, as what you see here. Yeah, so if a tree can conduct electricity, yes, it can. Yeah, so that's why for our company, we hire qualified trimmers who are trained to work in high voltage regions. They have a set of training that they do. They have their own protective equipment. So when they do trim trees around the lines, they have that type of education and qualifications to do it. Also, if there's trees that go into service lines, what we can do for customers is we can unhook the service line. The homeowner can hire a tree trimmer, trim the tree, and then we can rehook up back to service line. So that's some of the things we do to keep people out of the electrical lines that shouldn't be there. Now, I mentioned to you about PPE and the protective clothing that we use, and for us, when we do any type of high voltage work, it's class 2 rubber gloves. Now, class 2 rubber gloves are rated all the way up to 15,000 volts. So they can work on hot lines all the way up until that voltage. But again, your PPE is only as good as its condition. So what we have here, we have a rubber glove that has a hole. So similar to the hard hat, does that glove being compromised, does it compromise the safety of the worker? So we'll check that out here. Yeah, so gloves with holes in them, they don't work. Yeah, so that's why when our line workers don on their gloves, before any type of work, they blow some air into it, they close off the other end and they squeeze it, and they listen for any type of punctures or any type of leaks. So if there's any type of leak, then it's no good. Yeah, what we're gonna do now is go on that PPE theme, and we're gonna put up certain type of fabrics, and how does certain type of fabric stand up to electrical contact. And it's important again from an occupational perspective, if we're going to respond to or else do work with electricity, how flame resistant it is. So the first piece of material that we have is cotton, and at one time in electrical work that used to be the standard for protection. So we'll go ahead and put this line on cotton, and then we'll see what happens. Now, so cotton with high voltage, yeah, doesn't stand up too good, but cotton might be even the better alternative versus the next material that we'll put on. We'll put on some synthetic material, so nylon, which is the stuff that you don't want to use when you're working with any type of electrical work. And then you'll see what happens when we put the line onto this piece of nylon material. And then what you see with nylon material, it just melts. So that's a bad thing with synthetics. You know, if there's a flame that goes to it, it'll catch on fire, it'll start to melt, it'll start to drip, and it'll stick onto the skin. So that's even a bigger hazard than the flame itself, or a potentially bigger hazard than the flame itself. Looks like the connection was too good on that one. We burnt the fuse. We're gonna test is our Nomex material. So Nomex material is fire resistant. Okay, so we're trying the FR. See, and you can see the value of FR. So we put the flame to it, it burns through, but when we take off the flame, it stops burning. Yeah, so that mitigates a lot. Is the ones that we use for our raincoats. Yeah, so it not only has to be resistive to the water or shrug off the water, but also at the same time it has to be fire resistant.